Love loves at all times. It's different love, different color, which is brilliant. Brilliant. Love, that is the subject matter. And this is the verb. Love loves. So even though this is love and this is love, but this is action, this is the verb, and that's why the color is different. So love is the subject matter. Love loves at all times. So that's what we are talking about today. If it is love, you are going to love at all times. Now, we're talking about love. There is a need for me to talk about my country, Nigeria, and about the Benue killing. Many people think that I am insensitive, and some people might have thought or might be thinking that I'm wicked, or some people might be thinking that I am callous, just because of my position regarding the herdsmen. Now, let me be able to make clear my position again. What I am saying is not that what the herdsmen are doing is good. Of course, it's evil what they are doing. But I will not allow their evil to make me evil. That's the point I'm making. And that's the point I'm trying to make to my countrymen. That the evil of the evil men should not make us evil. Any action demands a reaction. What I'm addressing is the question of reaction. I am trying to say that no matter what evil happens, no matter what horrific things have happened, my reaction must never be in terms of evil, just like, or anger, or anything negative, anything devoid of love. If you take one orange fruit, and you cut it and squeeze it, it is only orange that will come out of it. That is why I'm responding the way I'm responding. I have become one with love. I have discovered the God of love. Even though I'm bitter, I'm angry, I am broken by what has happened in Benue and what is happening in Nigeria in general. But what I'm trying to say is that the problem with Nigeria is not just the Benue situation. The problem in Nigeria for me is pathetic all through and through. And the killing is horrific. But not just the Benue killing. The Kaduna killing is as horrific as well. And the Niger Delta kidnapping is also horrible. But all these things are generating another horrible thing. They are giving birth to a monster. And what is the monster that these things are giving birth to? They are giving birth to the monster of anger. They are giving back to the monster of hatred, suspicion, bigotry, nepotism. It is that I'm trying to prevent, that no matter how much evil is happening around us, evil that is being perpetrated by evil men should not give birth. We should not allow the evil things that are happening to impregnate us with monster. We should not allow ourselves to become mannequin in the hand of evil. Or we shouldn't allow the evil that is being perpetrated by evil men to dictate our reactions and our behavior. Our behavior and our response, our feelings, our actions, our responses should not be dictated by the evil of the evil men. We shouldn't become a puppet. We shouldn't become a puppet in the hands of the evil people without even us knowing that we have become puppets. If anybody could dictate your anger, if everybody could enforce anger upon you or make you to respond in with anger, with hatred, it means they have dominion over you. It means that the people who are doing the evil that you say you are hating, they are the ones that are controlling your emotions. You are not in charge anymore. You have lost it. That is what I'm trying to teach my people. That even though horrible things have happened, we should still remain Christians. And our response must still be Christian. What has happened has happened. Somebody is saying, but you are not pathetic. You are not empathic about it. You are after me being empathic in feelings, but I want to go beyond feelings. And you all will hear of my reactions. You all will hear of my decisions and my reactions soon. I don't just want to do what everybody is doing, just talking feelings, talk. That is bordering on opportunism. And that is bordering on empty talk. I don't just want to talk, I want to come with solution. Both to the victims, but I don't see victims as only in Benue. I don't see victims as only what has happened in the southern Kaduna. I see victims all over Nigeria. The whole of Nigeria is a victim situation. Both of the government, but of the lack of law and order and of the evil that is being perpetrated in the country. We must fix the old Nigeria. That is my concern. And pray that God will give you long life. Once God gives you long life, at least another 10 years or 5-10 years, you will begin to see my response. But my response is not going to be condemning and emotions and just speaking. You will see constructive response. And I hope that by the grace of God, even though everybody is condemning me now and thinking that I don't have feelings, I'm not sympathetic, I am wicked, I am callous, let them say that. They have their day now. But when I come with my own decisions and response, and when the response and the solution will be visible, then I hope they will remember what they have said now and be able to change their minds. But let's remain Christians no matter what. So this topic borders on this thing that I'm talking about, because what I'm talking about today is love loves at all times. You mean when they are killing your family people, you still love? Yes. You mean if they are killing, what about if they kill your family members, your wife, they rape your daughter or your wife, you will still love? Yes. What about if they kill you too, you will still love? Yes. Love loves at all times. If we say we are Christians, and the Islamic jihadists are killing us, do we still need to love those jihadists? Yes. What about the terrorists, the Boko Haram, the ISIS? Do we still need to love them? Yes. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't stop them. That doesn't mean we shouldn't stop the evil. I am for stopping the evil, but loving the evildoer. And what I'm saying doesn't mean to love the jihadists and to love the terrorists and to love the Muslims. To me, doesn't equate leave them to do anything they want. No, that means act by law and order. That means stop the evil and bring it to justice, but still love the evildoer. That's what it means to me. And when it comes to me, I'm going to bring solution by the grace of God to the Nigerian situation, not just to the victims, but to the ones that are killed, but I'm also going to bring solution and help to the ones who are killing. Now, it might not be clear what I'm saying, it might not be understandable, and it might not be fathomable to a Nigerian mind or to a Nigerian Christian, but this is the Christianity that I've come to know, that I've come to believe in. This is the Christ and the God that I've come to know. And it is this God that makes sense to me. And I'm going to, either you people believe or you don't believe, you don't need to believe, but by the grace of God, sooner or later, I will be able to prove to Nigerians and to the rest of the world that love wins. And that love is the only force that can win over evil. Not darkness overcomes darkness. Not hate overcome hatred. It is only love that can overcome hatred. It is only love that can overcome darkness. It is only love that can overcome evil. I believe it, and I'm going to practice it. So, the topic of today is love. If we believe in love, that love must be powerful enough to love at all times. If we really believe in love, then we have to believe that love conquers at the end of the day. I had an interview with a program we call Conversation with an Atheist. He said it's not an atheist, but it's agnostics. But, Conversation with an Atheist, that's the name of the program. And I quoted the words of Napoleon, the former emperor of France. And what he said is this, that all great men, Genghis Khan and Alexander the Great, and all great men that have ever conquered the world only by the power of the sword. Power of the sword. Hatred, killing, maiming, hatred, evil, including Islam. But there is only one man that has been able to do the same thing, conquer the world, and exceeded every other man that has ever conquered the world. And been able to do more, conquered more territory, more land, and control the hearts of men, the whole world, without the power of the sword, but with the power of love. That is Jesus. Now, you remember that Roman Empire killed Jesus. Roman Empire was responsible for the death of Jesus. But that same Roman Empire was conquered. In the next 200 years, that same empire, the greatest empire that has ever been built, is Roman Empire. The greatest, the most powerful empire, the most lasting empire that has ever existed is Roman Empire. Almost 1,000 years it existed. And this empire killed this man that brought the message of love. But that same empire fell at the feet of this same message of love. It took 200 years, but that same empire was brought to our feet. And this doctrine of love, this message of love, became dominant and took total control of Roman Empire. And the followers of Jesus that was killed, his followers became rulers of that old empire that killed their founder. What does that mean? Love wins at the end of the day. Love will always win. Either it is in geopolitical questions and issues like what I've just given you example of, or in little things, in little matters, love always wins, and love will always win. Anger never does anything good. Hatred never goes far. Responding in being sentimental and being temperamental and just, sentiments and hatred and anger and bigotry, those things don't last long and they don't do anything good. But love brings lasting solution and changes the world for better. It is the most potent power that's possible of changing any evil to good. And that is the side that I stand in. That is my position. That's where I belong. And I am on the side of love. And by the grace of God, before I die, love will win in Nigeria. I'm not going to use the same method. I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to act the way Christians in Nigeria are acting. No. They are not my authority to me. Examples that Christian leaders are giving in Nigeria, the way Christians are responding in Nigeria, for me, they are not authority to me. Don't expect me to respond the way Nigerians are responding. I will not. If you say because of that I'm wicked, so be it. If you say because of that I am apathetic, so be it. But God knows my heart, and you will soon know my actions. But I want to show and demonstrate a new response that might not be popular now, but believe me, this my response of love is what is going to remain standing when all others are long gone and forgotten. Love again will win, even in Nigeria. So the topic of today is love will always love at all times. Love loves at all times. Now, it is when you love at all times like this that you come to the knowledge of God. It is only the love that loves at all times that gets to come to the knowledge of God, that gets to know God. It is only the love that loves at all times that comes to the understanding of God. There is no way you will understand God if you don't love at all times. There is no way you will know God if you don't love at all times. As a matter of fact, the fact that you cannot love at all times is a confirmation that you don't know God. And the fact that you see it strange to love your enemies is a confirmation that you don't understand God. Anybody that understands God will love at all times. Anyone that knows God will love at all times. And the path to knowing God, the path to understanding God is when you begin to love at all times. Victory is the ability, victory in life, real victory. What wins in life is love. Hatred can never win hatred. Evil can never overcome evil. Only love can do that. Victory is the ability to maintain stability, peace, love within your heart. No matter what is going on around you, good or bad. Now, things might be going on. Okay, people always ask me this question. What about if somebody comes to attack your wife or your children? I'm going to stop them, but I'm still going to love them. Those things are not controversial. I'm still going to love them, but I'm not going to repay them with evil. I'm going to stop them, and maybe I'm even going to prosecute them or put them in court or put them in jail. But why doing that, I will still keep on loving them. What about if somebody comes to rob my house? Will I not call the police? I will call the police. What about if you need, will you prosecute them? Will you take them to court? Oh yes, I will do that. Why? But you say you love them. Yes, I will take them to court, prosecute them, even jail them, and demand the maximum punishment for them. Even though I will still be loving them and feeding them and praying for them and doing everything I could do for them to show them love at the same time. So justice is not the opposite of love. Love doesn't cancel justice. To love doesn't mean to give room and encourage evil. Justice and love, they are different, distinctive terminologies, but one is a manifestation of the other. Justice is an affirmation of love, and justice is an extension of love. So there will be no love without justice, and love is never complete if it's devoid of justice. So I demand justice for the killer, for the people who are killing, for the people killed in Benue State and all over Nigeria. I demand justice against the evil perpetrators. But I will demand justice while I am loving. And my demand for justice doesn't stop me from loving. I don't see them as to be counter parallel understandings. I see them as subsidiary understandings. I see them as same word of different angles. So victory, if I am emotional when things go bad and I begin to act bad, then I don't have victory. If I become evil because people are evil to me, then I'm not victorious in that situation. I am only victorious in those instances and in those situations when I am able to maintain my peace, when I'm able to maintain my harmony, when I'm able to keep on loving, maintain my love, despite what I am feeling, and despite what is going on in my life and around, and despite what people are doing against me. When I'm able to maintain love, even to the people who are guilty and are at fault, then I am victorious. So my measurement of victory is not that I've retaliated. Retaliation does not procure victory. Retaliation does not deliver me victory. What delivers victory to me is love. Even if I feel that I'm victorious right now with this retaliation, it might appear I'm victorious, but that act of retaliation, the person I retaliated against, by come again, I retaliated against me again. It is only love that secures lasting victory. Lasting victory and everlasting victory is only as a result of pure love. So victory is the ability to maintain stability, peace, which is love, especially in your heart. Now somebody will say, okay, what about if it's a war and somebody comes to fight against your country? Oh, we are going to raise an army. We are going to defend our land. Raise up the army. Go and defend your land. But even while you are fighting against the enemy, as in the battle front, you are still loving those enemies. Even when you are preventing them from killing you, and you have to, disarm them and maybe stop them or even kill them, even when that is going on, you still have to love them. So, victory is when you're able to maintain love. Victory, therefore, is only secured by love. So, when you have peace and you maintain love towards your enemy, you are victorious. But when you are angry, when you are bitter, you have been defeated by that same enemy. For example, there was a day that I showed you the video of a woman who forgave the killer of her son. And that woman said, when I was not forgiving him, that is before love came into operation, she couldn't sleep at night. She was always bitter. She was always angry. She lost her sleep. She lost her health. Because she was always bitter. She is not victorious. Even though the man had been put in prison, but she couldn't maintain peace. She couldn't get her peace back. And she couldn't enjoy life. She was always crying, thinking about her son that she's lost. But when she forgave and went to meet the killer of the son in prison, forgave him, adopted him as his son, as her son, now she got a son back. They are living together in the same house. And that boy that killed his son is now acting as a son to her. Now she can sleep. Now she doesn't have anger and bitterness and hatred. Why? Because true victory is not in the loss, is not even in revenge or in hatred or in anger. She got victory not just in the courtroom, but she got victory in her sleep. She got victory in her blood system. She got victory in a lifestyle. She got victory all around. That is true victory. But unforgiveness, hatred, bitterness makes you a loser to the same herdsmen that you hate. To the same herdsmen that the same man that killed the son was, even though he was in prison, he was still dictating how she must live her life. So her sleep was dependent on the person who she didn't forgive. It means that the person she hated is still controlling her sleep, her health. Her whole life is still dependent on the person she hates. That is why it is unwise to allow hatred, anger, lack of love, lack of forgiveness to be in your life. Because you don't have victory with those things. It is only love that secures you victory. It is only love that makes you to have peace, inner peace, which is the ultimate victory. It is only love that will give you peace of mind within, stability within. That is real victory. So victory is the ability to maintain stability, peace, love within, no matter what's going on around us, good or bad. Now, Luke 6:27 to 35, it says, "But I say to you who hear, love your enemies." In the rendition from Matthew, it says, "You have heard that it was said, eye for an eye." But the doctrine of eye for an eye leaves the whole city without anybody, without anybody seeing, without anybody with sight. Eye for an eye will leave the whole country blind. So who wins? You've done eye for an eye now, so who won? Who wins? All of you are now blind. Also, okay. Who is the winner? Of course, you said, no, I'm the last one standing. I'm the one who removed the eye of the last one. But you are the only one seeing. So what is your fun? You don't have fun because nobody is sharing your joy of what you are saying. You cannot share what you cannot describe to people what you are saying. You will still be frustrated. It's as good as you yourself, you are blind. Even if you are the only one who is seeing in the whole village of the blind. So you don't win. Only love secures victory, you see. So he did that why Jesus came with a new commandment. And said, you have heard it. And it was practiced. You didn't just hear it. It was practiced. But it never gave victory. It never brought peace. It never brought victory to the world. That's why I brought a new commandment, which is love. You have heard that you should only love your neighbors, your friends, people who are good to you, your relatives. But I come to you to say, love your relatives, but go beyond that, love your enemies as well. It's not because Jesus was foolish. It's because he knows something that we don't know. And you know why I could trust him? Because he's the author of life itself. He created life. He knows how life is meant to work. And because he is the one behind life, he knows what makes life to work and what works against life and what makes life not to work. And he told us that it is forgiveness, it is love that makes life to work. And he's the author of life. He knows better than I do. I better do the way he does, the way he says, rather than the way I feel. Evil and anger and unforgiveness don't lead to constructive and lasting victory. So Jesus said, but I say to you who hear me, love your enemies. How come love your enemies? You remember our topic today? Love loves at all times. And when you're able to love at all times, it brings to the knowledge of God. When you're able to love at all times, it brings you to the understanding of God. So love loves at all times. So he said, that's why he said, love your enemies. Now, enemies are people who bring pain to you. Enemies are people who bring you discomfort. Enemies are people who make life hard for you. Enemies are people sometimes who want to deprive you of your own life. So how can you love somebody that is causing you pain? Because that's the true way of peace, liberty, and victory. How can you love somebody that is trying to kill you? Because only through love you can stop that death. And you can win. And you can conquer that enemy that wants to kill you. Love is the instrument not just to forgive the person who is perpetrating evil, but it is an instrument for you to stop him and to conquer him. Love is a force of conqueror. Love is a force of dominion. Love is a force. When you love, you conquer. You remember what Napoleon said? We conquered through war and through the power of weapons, but everything they conquered, they have lost. They conquered and lost at the end of the day. But the only one that conquered the world without a sword, did it through the power of love. And he didn't lose it. Over 2 billion, over the half of the whole world now, about over 2 billion people are following him now. He didn't lose. He never lost what he conquered, like all others who lost what they've lost what they conquered. Their empires have all collapsed. But the one that conquered with love maintains that victory up to now. So love is a force to conquer. It is only love that is the force, the only medicine that can conquer evil is love. It is the only antidote for evil. Love is the only antidote for evil. It is the only force that is powerful enough to stop and conquer evil. So when God is saying to love your enemies, he's not just saying you should become a weakling. He is telling you to become more powerful than your enemy. He is telling you to go another direction and use the power that is only able to conquer the anger, the evil that is in them. He is giving you a secret that you never knew. And a secret that will eventually work. A secret that might look weak to the ordinary mind and eyes. A secret that might look ineffective in the meantime. But a secret that will eventually deliver the victory to you. So to love the enemy is not an act of the weakling. To love the enemy is not to be weak and submissive and to be subjected and to be subdued. No, to love your enemy is to subdue your enemy. Is to be superior to your enemy. And is to conquer your enemy. That is the only force that can do that. So, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. What? Do good to those who hate me? I mean, he's hating me. That's what I'm saying. When somebody hates you and you are doing good to them, you are conquering them. Even when it appears that you are doing good to him and he's still coming to show bitterness as you are doing the good. You know what? If you persist in love, love eventually wins. I want us to show that video of that white boy that was going in the street and giving $100 each to people. Let's show that one. Love will eventually win. Love never loses. So if somebody hates you, the Bible says, bless those, do good. So love, there are different, these are distinctive things. Enemy must be loved. But when it comes to hatred, love is not enough. When it comes to hatred, love must be demonstrated. Love must be manifested. So for example, some people are telling me, Pastor, you don't understand. These jihadists, these headsmen, they are jihadists. And they hate Christians. And they want to conquer and kill Christians. Then I go back to myself and to my closest. And then I go back to the word of God. I say, okay, when it comes to hate, what is the medicine that can deal with hate? The only medicine that deals with hate is not just love. When it is enemy in general, you love. But when it comes to that enemy, not just being your enemy, don't liking you, but hating you plus that, then you have to apply the only medicine that can conquer and neutralize that hate. So when it comes to the headsmen and Islamist jihadists in Nigeria, I just go to my Bible. I say, if they are really determined at exterminating Christians in Nigeria and they hate me and they hate people like me and they hate my people and they hate Christians, then I have an answer for them. And that answer is love, but not just love. Is an answer that is rooted in the only medicine and that can conquer hate. And what is that medicine? Hate is only conquered By not just love, by being reciprocal. Reciprocating good. Now, they hate you. They are doing evil against you. But the only medicine that can neutralize that hatred is an action from your side. An act of love. An action of love. Which is, you must compulsorily go and apply the medicine of good. Don't just love in your heart, oh. You must build a system. You must come up with a strategy of good deeds towards that person and those individuals who hate you. So when I now say I have my own answer and I'm preparing my own strategy, I'm not preparing. I have them prepared already. I have my own strategy on how to stop all that thing. So when they say, oh, Islam it conquered what they call it, Turkey. Turkey used to be a Christian something, and now it's a Muslim something. They want to do the same thing in Nigeria. Pastor, you don't know. They have Islamic agenda for Nigeria. I don't care about Islamic agenda. Let them have any agenda they want to have. I'm more concerned about me building an agenda according to the instruction that the greatest man who ever lived gave me. If I will, and he's the author of life. If I believe in that he's the author of life, I must believe in instruction. If I believe that he's the author of life, he knows and is always right. He cannot fail. He cannot make mistakes. I will rather radically believe in his word and act by it. I will package a system and create a system of good. By the time I package and I come down with a system of doing good to those who hate me, you wait and see. You wait and see who will win and what will win. The disciples tried this, and you know what they got at first? In the immediate, they got death. All the apostles, apart from John, they were all killed and murdered because they were repaying with good. But 200 years later, Orokoto Baba, the author of life, the one who spoke those words, that only good came to back up his words. Victory has a time limit when good is persistent. So even though they killed all the apostles, for them trying to repay good with evil, they were killed, they were eradicated, but their followers, they believed so much in the word of their Lord and Savior and the founder of their religion, the author of life himself. Even though they killed all the apostles, at the time they killed all the leaders into the third generation of Christianity, but they still kept on loving their enemies. Then they have passed the exams. Then God arose on their behalf, because they never gave up in using the right medicine of good, of love. They never resorted into the weapons of evil, cursing their enemies, killing their enemies, destroying their enemies, or calling fire on them. They abided still by the word of the master. That is when the master could come to show that he is the creator of heaven and earth. And he made them to conquer the whole empire. And from 300 years later, even the throne, the imperial throne of Rome, was now being occupied by Christians. In fact, it got to a point that if you are not a Christian, you cannot become a Roman emperor. It became a law. Only Christians could rule them. And only Christians could install them. Only Christian ministers. The descendants of those that were killed were now installing the emperors and the kings and the rulers of the whole empire, not the one seat alone. And they rule the whole world that way. I will rather stand by the word of Christ. So if you want to conquer people who hate you, set up a program that is all packaged in good. Package good in different expressions. It could be because it could be packaged in terms of them. If they are hungry, it means it will be food. If their children cannot go to school, it means it will be paying in helping pay for their school fees. If it is in them not having a place of worship, it will mean in building them mosques. It could be in different ways. Just make sure you package from your whole heart. Do a package of good and just go and be delivering it at the doorstep of those people who hate you. And come and see what will happen. You will hear a story. Let's have a look at that video. I want us to see this video. I want you to notice what it will be happening to the eyes and to the expression in the face of these people that are being given money to. One young man, you know, I don't know if you live in America, if you are here now, you are living in America, or you are in England, Western world, and you know homeless situation, the situation of homeless people. Most homeless people who are in the street, they are bitter. Because people pass them by every day. They don't even notice them. That is one reason for bitterness. Another reason for bitterness is that the system had broken them. And they are also bitter at the system. So most people in the street are bitter people. And when you are passing by, they are looking at you that you don't understand them. Everything is good for you. But they are citizens of the same country. But they are living in winter, in summer, outside. And if you are passing by, you don't even think of them. It's a difficult thing for people who are homeless to understand why people are so wicked they are passing them by. It is also a difficult thing for them to forgive. But see what love does. I want you to pay attention to the reaction and the facial expressions of these people. Let's go.
What's up, guys? I'm Kyle from Get Back Films. Today we're in Salt Lake City. We've been a little more fortunate in our lives than some people have. So today we're going to give $100 to homeless people. Hey, man. Hey, here's $100. Thank you, brother. That's you. Last name, my brother. It's you. How are you doing? You have a good day as well. Thank you. No problem.
See that joy. Let's go back a little bit. Just a little bit. See that joy. See that joy. So go back a little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. See that joy. See that joy. And these people, they are in anguish. They are bitter. They are in anguish. They are having hatred against the system. But you remember, sometimes it's not just against the system. Some of them are angry against their wives. Some of them are angry against their children. Some of them are angry and bitter. Hatred against their family members. Hatred against the country. Hatred against the system. Hatred against the whole people, the citizens. But you see, when it comes to hatred, there's only one medicine. When it comes to hatred, there is only one medicine. So what is that medicine? That medicine is called not just love. Love them. Oh, hello, sister, hello, brother. That's good. There is a place for it. You do that to enemies. But when it comes to hatred, people who experience hate, only one medicine. And the medicine is good. You've got to package good for them. So this guy got the key right. Good, doing good. Not just loving him, but you must express that love to him through some good packaging or packages or actions. It must be actions of good. That is what conquers hatred. Rewind, let's start again, let's see. Okay, let's play.
Here's $100.
Stop. Can you see the humility? true love is expressed through humility. And when I was talking about the Fulani herdsmen, I mentioned, if you have heard my message, or if you have not seen, go and look for my video. What was it called? I think it was called the herdsmen killing and my view, or my perspective. The herdsmen killing, my perspective. I mentioned two things there. I said there are two things that my response will be in two ways. Two ways we could resolve the problem of extremist Islamists, or whatever, the fundamentalist Islamists in Nigeria. I said two words, if anybody will remember. One word is humility, and the other one is love. If you people remember, two words, humility and love. So you see this guy, he's not coming like, haha, I am the successful guy here, I have $100. Because even when they give them something, they are not used to such a big amount. They are used to somebody giving them maybe some cents, some coins. But for somebody to come with $100, that is mind-blowing. But still, it's coming not with superiority mindset. But when you really want to help people, you do it through the expression of humility. Then love is palatable that way. Go ahead. See? Yeah, keep on praying. Let's go. You see, John? You see? Stop. No hatred anymore. Joy. Hatred has been conquered by do good to those who hate. Good, the action of good, has destroyed hatred. And then see what he has done. You know, remember that what I said? When you love at all times, love leads to knowledge of God. And love leads to understanding God. See what he did? Maybe he has not prayed to God in ages. Maybe he's even bitter at God even. See what action of love, kindness will do? It brought him to before the Lord. It brought him to the knowledge of God. And he might be a Christian or not a Christian. But his love, that is accepted, the love of God, the knowledge of God has been manifested, is also bringing him to the knowledge of God, understanding of God. And then all of us that are watching, love is bringing us to the understanding of God. And let's play. Let's see what it says. Praying to Jesus already.
Been able to bless us and let every step that you walk be blessed. Taking this family in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Have a blessed day.
You see the love.
Kyle, nice to meet you, brother.
You see the joy.
How you doing? Hey, here's $100.
See what's happening. You see now you can see depression here. Depression. See what will happen. Brighten up. You see smile. That's what love does. You see what's happening? You see what's happening? That's love does. But not just love, you see? No trace of hatred. It doesn't matter if it's towards him or toward the society. See what's happening here. Anger, hatred, suspicion. This is suspicion. Suspicion turned to love. See? You see what's happening? Doing good as a place. It's a medicine. It is like a medicine. That's what Jesus said. He knows. He's the author of life. He knows what doing good will do. Doing good will melt the heart. Not just melt the heart, turn an enemy to a friend. And it will totally eliminate hatred. It's not because it's by accident. No, it's no accident. It is this word that is said by the author of life. The person who gave life, who knows life. When we live by his instructions, we prosper. But when we disobey his instruction, we fail. This is true victory right here. This is true victory right here. You see? This guy is a rough guy. But see what's happening? See? Crying, love, hugging. You see? See what's happening? The guy is depressed. He's shocked. See what's happening? Do good to those who hate. No more hatred. No more hatred. No more hatred. See harmony. See love. See See another one here. Suspicions at first. Now, unbelievable love, acceptance, peace, harmony. You see, friendship, harmony. He opened up. He can't stop talking. Why? See what's happening? Do good. When it comes to hatred, do good. You see? Everything is good. See what's happening? The man is changing the world just by one act of kindness. Do good to those who are bitter, to those who hate, to those who are angry. Let's go back to my notes. God was work. Don't just read the Bible as a religious person. Let's practice what we read. Let's become Christians all over again. Let's stop just being religious people. Let's become Christians. So, when you love loves at all times. When you love at all times, it leads to the knowledge of God. It leads to understanding of God. Love leads to understanding of God and to the knowledge of God. So when it comes to enemies, love them with your heart. It means don't have any bitterness against them in your heart. You know, love them either through actively or anything, just be positively disposed towards them. Then when it comes to hate, if anybody hates, that one is conquered by a package of good. You must form a system of extending good to them. Then it says, when it comes to curse, if you know that there are some babalawos, some voodoos, some juju masters, or some juju witches in the village that are cursing you, then you have to bless them. The medicine for curses, for placing curse on you, is to bless. Now, why is it that when some people are saying that give money, if you give money to people in Africa, that that money is going to be used. So people say, don't give money in Africa to people who are poor, because they are going to take that money and use it to do witchcraft against you. Do you know the reason why it will never work? If you are really blessing the person, even if they take it, it will never work. The medicine against curses, and to do voodoo against you is cursing you. Voodoo works through curses, yes, through incantation, through curses. You see the way to neutralize curses? It is rather the opposite. Anybody that is doing curses or voodoo or incantation or witchcraft, the only power that will neutralize witchcraft and can break it down and destroy it and turn it into water and turn it into a powerless thing is to go and bless them. Take something and use it to go and bless them. It will neutralize the thing. So what people are supposed to be preaching in Nigeria is rather going to beg people to begin to give. Begin to go and give to witch doctors. Begin to go and give to witches. Begin to go and give to wizards. Begin to go and begin to be giving to the wizards and witches and wizards, wicked people. Anybody you know that is cursing, anybody you know that is doing incantation against you, anybody that you know that is practicing witchcraft, go and bless them. Bless them with food, bless them with clothes, bless them with money, bless them with something. It is the blessing of those who curse that neutralizes the curses. Curses is neutralized by blessing. You've got to begin to bless them by your mouth and then bless them with your substance. There are different ways to bless. You can bless with your substance, what you have, physical, or you can bless with your mouth, or you could bless with anything you have. But begin to set up a system of blessing people, and that is the only way to neutralize any curses against you. So if they are telling you that you have curses in your father's house, you neutralize it by blessing that father's house. If anybody tells you you have curses, some people in your village or stepmother or something is cursing you, you neutralize that curse by blessing. It is only blessing, either in prayers or in action, that will neutralize curses. Let's have a look at one video where in Nigeria, young men and young men, ordinary boys, are going to use their tithe and offering or their something to bless. They are using it to bless people, to bless, poor people in the street. And that theory doesn't work. I don't even know if they are Christians or they are not Christians, but no cause is working against them. They are just being blessed more. Their businesses are growing more. They are blessing more and more people. They are not becoming poor. They are not becoming poorer. So that doctrine that somebody will take their money and go and use it for witchcraft and go and use it to do witchcraft against them is not, somehow it's not working. No witchcraft is against them. They keep on doing it. No witchcraft is taking them because it's all superstition. It's all lie and deception. It is all crazy theories that churches of today, the pseudo churches, paganistic churches of today, in Africa today, have invented to make people sure that people only bring money to church. It is all deception and lies to make sure that people don't give money to anywhere else, but only to them. It is wickedness. It is evil. When God is saying go and give to the poor, that God will remember you. When God is saying when you give to the poor, you lend to the Lord. When God is saying when you give to the poor, God will remember you. He will visit you. He will bless you. And now somebody is telling you the opposite. That person is Antichrist. Because it's against the word of God. It's against the word of Christ. It cannot be true. There is no way you can bless people with money and that money will be used for witchcraft. Me, I the bless. I'm blessing people. Why is it that no witchcraft is coming? If unbelievers are blessing, Muslims, what will you say about Muslims? Muslims are always giving money out every Friday. It is part of their religion. They are giving money to bless people. Do you know what? Somehow witchcraft is not conquering them. Somehow witchcraft is not working against them. Witchcraft is only working against Christians who believe this crap and this lie, who go to all these fake churches. That is the only people who are afraid of witchcraft. But these Muslims who don't even believe Jesus, who don't even need to pray, by just giving, that they are giving is neutralizing that curse, even if there is a curse like that. So Muslims are giving, and they don't even know about this because it is their religion to give. And they are giving, and no witchcraft is conquering them. Deception. Some paganistic syncretism in Africa that we must flush out as fast as possible. Here we go. Let's see an example of a young man like that who is demonstrating love by using his own money to give to. He's not just giving to this one alone. He's going out every day or every week and taking camera and, giving money to people every day. You mean it has not come to anybody's mind to go and take the money to do witchcraft? So why is it that no witchcraft is taking him? He's keep on doing it and keep on prospering because it's all rubbish, some lie from hell that has been invented by evil, malicious people. Here we go. You see what the woman, no voice. You see what the woman is doing? No, let's play just no voice. The woman is not cursing. She's actually blessing him. People say if you give money to them, they will curse you. They will go and use it for witchcraft. It's the opposite. She's crying out of love. Blessing destroys curses. Blessing destroys, hatred. Blessing destroys all the evil. Blessing destroys evil. Blessing destroys, witchcraft. It is blessing. You see joy? You see joy? Ah, my God, oh, Jesus, return Christianity back to Africa. Help me. Help us to return Christianity back to Africa. Help us to destroy all these lies and deception that have come to overcome the church in Africa. Please. Oh God, how could people be so wicked coming with this kind of doctrines? It is sad. I'm so broken. But thank God for people like this. My dream is that we will have at least 2,000 people like this every day, going about Lagos and Nigeria with cameras. And it is important that with cameras. Why? Because the Bible says, let your light so shine before the world. The whole world must see it. That the whole world will see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. The whole world must be able to see it. So, loves at all times. Even though that guy will have heard about the theory that don't give to the poor, they are going to use it for witchcraft, you are going to become poor, but he's obeying his heart. He believes more in love and in good and in kindness than in witchcraft. And that's why he's able to continue doing what needs to be done. When you love like that at all times, you see, the knowledge of God comes. Can you feel God in that atmosphere? I could feel God. The understanding of God comes. Why? Because when it comes to enemies, you've got to love them. When it comes to people who hate, to hatred, you've got to package good and do good. When it comes to curse, you've got to bless and pray for those who spitefully use you. Now, when there are people who are abusing you, who are oppressing you, who are using you unjustly, spitefully use you, who are taking advantage of you, those you should pray for. Pray for. That one is different from bless them with something or give something to them, do good to them, but you have to love them, but also go ahead and pray for them. So when it comes to people taking advantage of you, that's when you go to prayer meeting. Not when you want them to die, but when they are taking advantage of you, when they are not fair to you, when they are not just to you, not justice to you, when they are taking advantage of you, you have to pray for them. That is the best reaction. Not cry, but pray for them. Not weep, not go into depression, but go and pray for them. Not go and pray for them to die, but go and pray for them. Go and bless them. Go and pray for them. You will not go and curse them. No, go and pray for them when they spitefully use you. Now, when it comes to him who strikes you on the one cheek, offer the other also. That doesn't mean don't stop them. That just means that don't ever let your heart, why did it say offer or the other? Don't let anger, bitterness, that anger that is driving them, that evil that is driving them, that bitterness that is driving them, don't let it go to your heart. Protect your heart. And if need be, offer them the other one so that your heart will not be contaminated. So what he's saying is that never allow your heart to be contaminated. Even though you could stop the person, you could even put them down. You could even give them over to arrest or under the police or get them arrested, lock them up, but never allow the same hatred, the same bitterness to come to your heart. And from him who takes away your cloak, do not withhold your tunic. He wants to seal it. Don't begin to fight. Why is it? The thing Jesus is talking about here is not physical actions only. These are all concerning your heart. These are all teachings to preserve your heart. Why did he say, when he's taking away your something, it doesn't mean that just let him take it away, don't take it back. No, it just means that don't allow bitterness. Because when somebody takes something from you unjustly, you want to go and fight and begin to fight for your right and begin to do that. You can still do that, but while you do that, maintain the heart of love. So the whole idea is not the clock, it's your heart. Everything, all these things that you are hearing about the beatitude, they are all about your heart. Make sure that in your heart, you are even ready to give him another one. Make sure that in your heart, you are even allow him to go. You are ready to let him. So the readiness, you remember in the case of Abraham, when God said, go and sacrifice your son. You know, he didn't really sacrifice that son. But the readiness to sacrifice the son is what God was looking for. So when it comes to this one also, when somebody strikes you, the readiness that you don't care, you are ready to forgive him. Even if he does it again, you are ready to forgive him. That readiness to forgive, that readiness to love, despite the fact that he's striking you, to even to do it again, that readiness is what we are talking about. That is a heart. The same thing when he takes your cloak and he said, give him, let him take it. That readiness to even let him take it. That readiness not to have bitterness. That readiness to even give him another one on top. That readiness means that you don't have bitterness in your heart. That means that you don't have anger in your heart. That readiness is what is being talked about. It's not like going to kill your son, but the readiness to let that son go, to let that Isaac go. That readiness shows your heart. So this is all about the condition of the heart. Do not withhold your tunic either. Give to everyone who asks of you. If they are asking of you, check it out. The willingness to give, that you are ready to give. You are not against giving them. That readiness of your heart to give to anybody who asks you, that of course you have to be able to give if you can afford it. But even if you cannot afford it, but the willingness to even do it. That willingness. But sometimes you can afford it, but it doesn't make sense. It will not help the person. But you are still willing. Even though you said no to the person. So you can still say no, but really, you are past the test. You are ready to give. You are willing to give, even though you said no. Because you said no to him because you know if you give him the money, he's going to mismanage it. Or if you give him the money, he might not use it in the right way. It might not be helpful to the person itself. But the willingness that you are ready to do it, even though you said no, that is still the same thing. It's the heart God is after. I don't know if you people are getting me. And from him who takes away your goods, do not ask them back. Now, that doesn't mean don't ask them back, but the willingness in your heart that even if necessary, you can let it go. But sometimes you need to ask them back because you want to teach them lesson. You want to ask them back because you don't want to spoil them. It's just like saying somebody raped somebody. You say, okay, don't imprison him. Let him go and be raping. That is not the idea Jesus was pursuing. The idea Jesus was pursuing is that forgive him. Even though you will still, you have locked him up in prison so that he will not go and be raping other people, but your heart must have forgiven him. You must forgive. That is the idea here. So when somebody takes away or something, that doesn't mean that when thieves come and rob your house, don't take the thing back even when it's caught. No, that's not the idea. The idea is that even though he has taken it, but you have released him, you are not, if you have opportunity to get it back, you get it back. If you go after it, take your things back. But in your heart, you can still embrace that person. You can still bless that person. Even at the end of the day, you can even give him some cash. That heart of love, that heart is what Jesus is talking about. Every time you see the scriptures like this, he is referring to the heart, condition of your heart. You must let people go. You must bless people. You must love people despite everything. The whole idea is about love. So, and just as you want men to do to you, you also do likewise to them. You want people to forgive you in your heart, even though you are being punished for your sin. Just the same thing with God. That's how God treats us. God doesn't like our sins. And there are consequences for everything we do. But do you think God still loves us even when we are going through the consequences of our sin? We might have sinned and God has forgiven us. And even though the consequences of the sin are now punishing us and we are crying, we are sick, we are doing this, but even in that consequence, while we are going through that consequence, God still loves us. That is what Jesus is trying to teach here. Love people despite everything. And just as what men do, just as you want men to do to you, you also do to them likewise. But if you love those who love you only, what credit is that to you? That's not Christianity. Anybody can do that. For even sinners love those who love them. That's what they are campaigning for in Nigeria now. You only love people who love you, who are good to you. That's the kind of Christianity that's right, but that's not Christianity. And if you do good to those who are good to you, what credit is that for you? That is not Christianity, to do good only to who do good to you. You must be able to do good to those who hate you. You must be able to do good to those who curse you. You must be able to love your enemies. That is when it is Christianity now. For even sinners do the same thing. And if you lend to those from whom you hope to receive back, what credit is that to you? Let's see what Africans are practicing instead of this principle. Instead of this word that Jesus preached, let's see what Africans are preaching. They are preaching the opposite. And what they are preaching is not Christianity. And they are leading people against God, against Jesus himself, against the Son of God. Let's see one of these our so-called fathers and see what they are practicing, what they are saying. what kind of Christianity they are preaching, which is the direct opposite of the Christianity that Jesus stands for. When somebody is talking and preaching and promoting against what Jesus stands for, how is it different from the Muslims? How is it different from the jihadis that you don't like? He is not a believer. They might use the name of Jesus, but they're just using the name of Jesus. But they're against Jesus because they are preaching against him. Let's have a look at
Vengeance is answering in the camp of your enemies today. Within 7 days from now, you will hear news. That the gang ups against your glorious destiny in Christ has been shattered. And so shall it be. God speaking said, Israel is my son, is my firstborn, and let my son go that he may serve me. Exodus 20, chapter 4, verse 22 and 23. If you don't let him go, I will kill your son because I must free my son. When you are committed to serving God, it becomes your eternal defense. From this day, because everyone in this church is engaging with all their heart, with all their zeal, in serving God and His kingdom at one level or another. Therefore, you are entitled to His defense. By His defense today, vengeance answers in the camp of your enemy. Let him go, I kill your son. Whatever will let you go will be destroyed by divine vengeance today. Whatever won't let your family go, your wife, your children, your husband, whatever won't let them go, goes down for you today. Whatever won't let you go in your business, in your career, goes down for you today. With your covenant of stewardship in place, the enemy has no more legal right to torment your life. Therefore, today is declared your day of glorious liberty. This day is declared your day of glorious liberty. Remember, the Bible says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Exodus 22, verse 18. Suffer means don't allow a witch to live. Call for his or her destruction. Because until you stop the witch from living, you can't stop him from bewitching. Therefore, every agent of the devil bewitching your destiny in Christ is visited with vengeance today. Vengeance is answering in the camp of your enemies today. Within 7 days from now, you will hear news. That the gang ups against your glorious destiny in Christ has been shattered. And so shall it be. God speaking said, Israel is my son, is my firstborn, and let my son go that he may serve me. Exodus 20, chapter 4, verse 22 and 23. If you don't let him go, I will kill your son because I must free my son. When you are committed to serving God, it becomes your eternal defense. From this day, because everyone in this church is engaging with all their heart, with all their zeal, in serving God and His kingdom at one level or another. Therefore, you are entitled to His defense. By His defense today, vengeance answers in the camp of your enemy. Let him go, I kill your son. Whatever will let you go will be destroyed by divine vengeance today. Whatever won't let your family go, your wife, your children, your husband, whatever won't let them go, goes down for you today. Whatever won't let you go in your business, in your career, goes down for you today.
Thank you.
With your covenant of stewardship.
Can you see the birth of paganism? That is the symbol of paganism right there. The birth of syncretism. The birth of paganism. Paganistic practices. Paganism. They are using the word of God, even where the word God is saying the opposite. The so-called man of God is reading A and telling you it is B. And reading it in your ear like this, koro koro, and lying right there to the people of God and deceiving them, putting them in bondage, making them into pagans. It's a pity. And if you lend to those from whom you hope to receive back, what credit is that to you? For even sinners lend to those who to receive as much back. But love your enemies. Again, Jesus is repeating it again. Do good and lend, hoping for nothing in return. Which means lend only those things that you are ready to let go. But even if you lend it and you want it back and they don't bring it, that doesn't mean you don't demand for it back. But that just means that even if they don't bring it back, you still love them. You still forgive the person. But that doesn't mean you don't demand for it back. But your heart is not attached to the thing. The whole idea is that your heart should not attach. Even if you are demanding it back, it's not because your heart is attached to the thing you gave, but it's because you want to teach them a lesson. You want to help them become a better person. That's why you ask for it back. But your own heart is ready to let it go. That state of the heart is what the Bible is talking about. But love your enemies. Do good and lend, hoping for nothing in return. So hoping for nothing, the hoping for nothing is returning the thing. Not that don't get it back, but don't let your heart be attached to, to that thing. Let your heart be attached to love. And your reward will be great. And you will be sons of the Most High. For he is kind to those who are unthankful and evil. You see, the only way to be sons of God is to act like this. You can be Christians, but not sons of God. You can be church goers, but not sons of God. But for you to be sons of God, you must act this way. So the only way for you to be Christians, to be sons of God, is to act this way. For he is kind to the unthankful and evil. Now, so real victory is the ability to maintain stability, peace, love within, no matter what's going on around you, good or bad. Love will love at all times, even when they kill your family members, even when if tragedy happens, you will still love. If you can't accept pain and trial as part of life, you will eventually come to self-destruction. Now, I have a question for you people. What do I mean here that you will self-destruct? If you cannot accept pain and trial as part of life, you will eventually come to self-destruction. Who understands? Can you write to me in your comments what I mean by this? Do you understand what this means? Girls, can you try? You want to try to answer? Marsha, will you try to answer? What if you can't accept pain, in life, you don't tolerate pain, you come to self-destruction. If you can't accept trial as part of pain, as part of life, you will eventually come to self-destruction. If you will not accept bad things, you can't accept bad things. You only want good things, good things, good things. It means you come to self-destruction. So мы приходим в самоуничтожение, когда мы не способны воспринимать боль, разочарование, обид или негативное. Человек, который хочет только добро, хорошо, сладко, все, он самоуничтожается. Почему самоуничтожается? That's my question. So my question is, how does a person who doesn't who doesn't like pain, cannot accept pain, who cannot accept trial, who cannot accept failure, how does it come to self-destruction? How? Can you write me? I want to see your comment. How does that come to be? If somebody that likes only good things, only pleasure, only blessing, only joy, why is that leading to self-destruction? That is the thing that is happening in our churches in Africa today. Pastors are preaching only that no, you will not have pain, you will not have trial. Those things come to self-destruction. People who believe that, they always come to some form of failure and self-destruction. You want to join the question? Okay, come and prove to me. I want my assistants, my people who are here to English. Yeah, if you cannot do it in English, I will help you.
Yes.
What do you think? Want to say it in English, right?
Why? So the question is why?
How? Yeah. Or why? Yes, say it.
Why? If you can accept.
You come to self-destruction.
Yes. Why we come to self-destruction?
If we don't accept pain
and trials as a part of our life.
Yeah.
First of all, we have to understand and to say to ourselves that trials and pains, this is actually part of our life. We need to accept this thought that, okay, I will have pains in my life, I will have trials in my life, I will have bad things in my life. So, because we have...
But that thing you just said now, that I will have bad things in my life, for African Christians who are
like
going
I'm cursing myself.
It's like you are cursing yourself, yeah. It's like a curse. How will you say you have bad things in life? Don't say negative things, don't say so. Confession, they say confession, don't confess.
No confession.
But that is how they are brainwashed African people.
This is not confession, this is...
reality.
This is reality, first of all, and secondly, it's thinking. It's the person who is thinking and analyzing the reality and the life itself. So, okay, life is created from the black and white, like not the horse, the zebra.
Yeah, like positive and negative.
Yes, positive and negative.
Like zebra animal.
Yes, animal. It has white and black stripes.
Yes. Yeah.
So then why when we have white stripe we say, oh, everything is fine, this is life,
God is good,
God is good. So why then when the black stripe is coming to our life, we say, okay, what happened, God? Where are you, God? God is always there. Where is it? Where is was?
God is always there.
Yes, he's sitting on his throne and everything is fine to him. But to me, as a person, I had to understand that life is created from the bad and good things. So, coming to the question, why?
Yeah, what is self-destruction?
Exactly?
Yeah, how does that lead to self-destruction for the person?
Okay, so what is the self-destruction? It starts from our thinking. So how I am destroying myself. I started to think, oh, I am not happy, I'm not lucky, I'm not blessed. Something is wrong with me. God is angry with me. All people around are against me.
Maybe there are witches and wizards.
Yes, everything are bad. Everyone are bad. So you yourself, you turn yourself against the world.
That is, you destroy your relationship with your friends, with your family members, with your relatives.
Exactly.
You self-destroy yourself because you cannot accept negative things.
Yes. So why don't you? And first of all, don't accept that life is created from the bad and
black and white.
Yes. Like Job. You remember the Job?
Yeah.
He was. When the wife says, okay, curse God now and everything and die and everything will finish. But why? And Job, what did he say? Why don't we accept the bad things as we accept? Yes.
Yeah.
So it will be easier to us to live, more relaxed when the bad thing is coming. Maybe it sounds crazy, But you know, no one told us that only good things will happen in our life. So when the bad thing, and what is the bad things? Actually, the bad things is not
It's
the
a bad
bad.
thing.
It's not the bad. We can see them as a bad thing. What is a bad thing? You know, because some of bad things, they're actually good.
Or they will be good. They will be
Yes,
good for you.
yes.
They prepare you for.
And I will say even more. If we will see bad things, as people call them bad, before they even happen, that everything which comes to me, I will return to good. So when bad thing will start to come to me, I say, okay, it's not bad. And at the end of the day, I will return it to good. To myself, to my family, to my people, you know. So it's
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Uh-huh.
Let's start. Let him come first, and then you. Okay. What will you say? Do you understand the question?
Yeah, definitely. Let me read the question again. So it says, if you can't accept pain and trial as part of life, you would eventually self-destruct. And this is so true. Let me start with how we function as humans. Without pain, we will drop dead. You're going to be seeing dead people on the streets everywhere. Without pain. Because the way God has even...
And he's talking as a medical doctor
yes,
as
I'm
well.
a medical doctor. Because the way God has configured us in such a way that sometimes we just want to keep walking.
But pain are some of the greatest blessings.
Greatest blessings.
To tell you that something is out of order.
Something's out of order. So you have to, for example, what we don't know is that even the hunger that we feel is a sense of pain.
Yeah.
And that is telling us that our body is in need of
Food.
glucose, so as to function. And if we don't respond to the pain that we feel, to those hunger pangs, you just drop dead. That's self-destruction. Or some of us that just wants to keep walking, just to keep walking 24 hours without resting. What you notice is that you start feeling headache. That's pain. And that headache that you're feeling is pain, is telling you that, hey, you have to stop. If not, you're going to self-destruct. So even from the pain that we feel in our body, if you don't accept pain in that perspective, you would understand that life is actually impossible to live without pain. Let's talk about one of the blessings that I have actually seen about pain and trial, is that it helps us change. Listen, guys, there are some decisions that you cannot make until trial comes and pain comes. Until the pain comes and trial comes, you won't be able to make that decision. But there's something that comes with trial. There's something that comes with pain. It takes you to that position where making that decision becomes very easy. Sometimes, let me give an example. Many of us, the reason why we are even in Christ today is because of some trials. Many people, the reason why we even sought God, why we even decided to even look for God, was from a painful situation, was from a predicament we experienced, was from a trial we experienced. So imagine us just living our lives without trials and without pain. There won't be changes in our lives. We'll just be living our lives haphazardly. We'll just be living anyhow, and that would lead to self-destruction. Let me give the third reason why I believe that if we don't accept pain and trials as part of our lives, we will self-destruct. Listen, without pain and without trial, let's understand this, that life will be meaningless. Life will be absolutely meaningless without pain and trial. Why am I saying that? It is because every victory that we experience in life is tied to a trial or to a pain. As a matter of fact, the innovations we see around us is connected to a pain. The things we see around us was because there was a pain that someone realized or that we felt, and that stirred up an innovation. For example, at some point, for someone to travel from America to Nigeria was disastrous. You can't even think about it.
6 months on the ocean, in the ocean.
In the ocean. You can't even fathom it. Just the thought of wanting to go from America to Africa could lead to depression. That was pain. But then, because pain is
Too much.
the pain of just thinking about that brought about innovation. There would be no innovation without pain. There will be no innovation without trials.
No progress.
There will be no progress without pain and trials. And it will ultimately lead to self-destruction. So pain and trials, challenges, problems, predicaments, they are major parts of our lives. Take them out, life is not beautiful. How would you know what joy is without knowing what sadness is? It doesn't make sense. You don't know what success means if you not tested failure. Because you don't know what it means.
So people will now say, so what is good about the herdsmen killing people?
Killing people right now in Nigeria. Number one thing I want us to notice about this is that if Nigerians really want to assess this situation, this should restore to the consciousness of every citizen.
Because I'm seeing it as an opportunity.
I'm telling you.
As a blessing in disguise.
A big blessing. Number one I'm seeing, Pastor, is that it should restore to every citizen the value of a human life. Because this is one thing that we lack in Nigeria. We don't even... Because many people are clamoring because this is something that is personal to them. I mean, this is what... Maybe it's their family, they're from Benue State, and this is why they are just clamoring. But then if we are able to actually assess the situation, and then what should make us even want to make any decision or make any statement or make any move concerning these herdsmen is that now as a nation, we have to be a nation that values the life of one citizen. And then this begins to resonate in the mind of every Nigerian that this is what we are fighting for now is not even Fulani herdsmen, but Fulani herdsmen, they are teaching us, they are helping us imbibe the value system of the dignity of a human life. And so what happens is that every citizen of Nigeria begins to clamor that no citizen must die. Be it from Fulani herdsmen or from from robbery attack or from the kind of road accident that we get. But now there's a restoration of the value system of the dignity and the value of a human life.
They don't even know that more people are dying from road accident.
From road accident
than from Fulani
herdsmen.
Nobody is crying about that one.
No.
And when I tell them that it's the holistic thing we need to they don't understand what I'm talking about.
So there are many
but they have a reason to anger. To vent to anger.
Provoke, yeah. So it's just
when it's accident, nobody to be angry again.
Yeah. So there are many things that we can learn. The only thing that we have to just do, and I think that is what most of us must learn how to do, is to have a wider perspective of things and to be able to analyze things, not just to be reactional. We must be able to put our emotions in check and begin to weigh things. Just assess things. What can I gain from this? What is this teaching me? Let's start asking the right questions. Let's stop asking the who questions. Let's asking what. Because this is the reason why many things cannot change in Nigeria. As long as we are asking who, we are looking for who to blame. We're looking for, but that's one of the things why we can't progress in Nigeria. Until we change our question from who is the problem. We are focusing on Fulani herdsmen, and so that's why many Nigerians they're just going on Buhari because they're looking for who to blame. Who. But that is us. There's a big elephant in the room saying, "Hey, I'm here," but you guys you're not looking at me. You're not even seeing me. We are looking for who to blame, looking for fingers to point. Then that's why we see people witch hunting, looking for, oh, you are the person to blame. But hey, let's look at what really is the issue. You discover it is a what problem. And then when we begin to discover the what, we start looking at, that is where we start analyzing things analytically. What is making these people act like this? What can we change? What is wrong? Which part of the process do we need to fix? How can we build a system? This is how to think that will create a long-lasting answer.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
You guys like almost Pastor Sunday talking.
Okay, hello to everyone. We challenged my English, okay, Pastor? If we can't accept pain, trials, the problems, failures in our life as part of our life, this big problem in life of every person, because if you don't know about the pain is part of life, so you will think that this problem, this pain, this failure, it's end of your life. So how to live, to know, to сталкиваться, to meet every day with end of your life. Every day, every week, every month, every year, the end of your life. Because this problem, this trial, it's fear for you that no more life after that.
Hopelessness.
No, yes, hopelessness, no hope, no future,
No life.
no life.
You self-destroy because you are thinking
Yes,
that problem, trial is end of your life.
end of your life, every day. Some problem, and this person thinks that it's end of your life. This person don't know what to do with it, how to live with it. And that's why so many suicidal
That brings about
mindset,
depression.
things, depression,
That
stress,
brings about distress, suicide,
body,
sickness, cancer.
Yes.
Okay.
So this self-destruct will take place in all spheres of our lives. Mindset, body, soul, heart, emotions. So people every day is killing themselves. People every day is killing themselves if they don't know that problems is just part of our life.
Yeah.
Yes. And for example, we all had crisis. Pastor, we had crisis in 2008. And many my friends, entrepreneurs, have had so big problems, financial debts, financial debts, problems. So it's this was hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, and many people had these problems in that time. And I know one person. This was man, businessman, and he had financial debts the same sum as me. And he was businessman. I was just young woman in big city, new. It's all new for me, and this was first problems in my life with financials in that way. And this person, man, businessman, he wanted to end of your life. He wanted to
kill
do
himself.
suicide. Yes.
And you, a single mother,
Yes.
in a big city, in another city,
Without big experience in this sphere.
no business.
No, and this problem, this crisis in my life was a step, was a way, was a highway to a new level in my life. First of all, it was highway for a new level of my relationship with God.
But why is it that the business guy, even though he was in business, he was more experienced, why is it that he wanted to kill himself? Because he was not used to problems. To him, problem is the end of it all. We
Yes.
self-destroy because of...
He had family, he had children, but he was unknown what to do with it, how to live with it. And this example are of self-destroy. If you don't know that problems and big problem, new level problem, and this is a way to a new level of your life. So we just...
So problems are stepping stone to a new level of life.
Yes. So one person will
Want to
think
kill himself,
that this is the end
Life.
of life. Another person will think that this is a new beginning in life. You know? So that's why it's so important. Wow. Our life, the whole очередь, череда,
yeah,
the list of problems, pains, so painful, many situations so painful in life. And if we will know that this is part of our life and this is a new beginning for our life, our lives will victorious always.
So
Our lives
our
will
lives. So live new problems and challenges in life is a sign of a new...
Yes, sign. Yes, Pastor. It's a sign of new beginning in my life, new level of my life, new level of business, new level of mindset, new level of relationship with God, first of all, new level of my capacity, my personal capacity, new level my soul, my размер. My size of my soul, new level my love, new level my forgiveness, new level my strength,
Of
new
my
level
love
my
to God,
anointing. Yes,
my knowledge with God, my understanding of God.
The best breakthrough in relationship with God, in love with God, in closer intimacy with God, I had in moments when I had big problem, when I had big crisis. This was now when I saw back, I totally understand that this was the best moments in my life. I tell you, these best moments in my life, because our pain give us or killing or depress or just give up or my new strength or my step up.
Yes.
Step go up. You know, so guys, I tell you, if we not understand these things, our life will always destroy itself, and not only itself, but people around me, always. So it self-destruct and others destructs. Wow.
Beautiful.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Pastor.
Wise. Wisdom. Great wisdom. What will you say, Pastor Natasha?
Pastor, I want to read again this thought.
Okay.
If you can't accept pain and trial as part of life, you would eventually self-destruct.
If you can't accept pain and trial.
Pain and trial
As part of life.
And I want to tell that life, because we don't understand what is life, at all. And in our Christian lives, let's be honest, we come even to God to be free from problems and from pain, because we had pain and we wanted to find solutions, we came to God.
Yes.
And always many of our prayers is because we have pain and we have trials. So we want to be free from them. So, yeah, let's be honest. But here we need to understand that Christ didn't came to the earth to remove pain and trials of life as part of life. You know, and even in Bible, you know, now I just one verse came in my mind and I found, and this word destruction is in this verse. Yeah, when Jesus in Matthew 7:13 he said, enter through the narrow gate. For wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. So, you know, let's be honest, many of us, many of people in the earth, many people in the church today, we are looking not
at the wide
road. We don't want to go through pain. We don't want to go through trials. We want easy life. And I think, you know, this is the problem, that when we come to Christ, you know, if we have in mind that easy life with God, I will have more easy life. But this is not true. You know, because part of life is pain and trial, and Jesus always said us about this. Jesus said, you will have problems, you will have things in this earth, but you will have enemies, you will have people that will help you, you will have a lot of pain, even your family will leave you, even your family will be against you. So don't wait easy life, but this is part of life, and Jesus was Jesus told us about this. He didn't keep this. He told us true. But you know, the nature of person, we don't want pain. We don't want trials. But you know, we need understand and put in our mindset this part of true about life, that pain and trials, this is part of life. And if we don't want accept this part of life, we will be in destruction. You know, we destruct ourselves, because you know, the part of life will come pain and trials, and if we don't accept them, if we don't want them, so we will not go into the life, but into the death.
Into the narrow way.
Yes. So we, by ourselves, we said to life, no life. So what, you don't choose life? You don't want to choose life? Choose life, God said. But life is pain and trials. And people don't want to choose life in this sense. So another option is death, is destruction. So we need to work ourselves and analyze ourselves, how we react in pain, how we react in trials and problems in our life. And it's better to to change our attitude, our reaction on pain and trials, and then we will find life. And we will live as Jesus said.
Beautiful.
As Jesus said. Thank you, Pastor, for this song.
Thank you. Wow. Wisdom, so much wisdom today. In fact, I wanted to say some things, but I will not say it anymore. You people have said so much wisdom. So if you can't accept pain and trial as part of life, you will eventually self-destruct. I'm going to show you a film now, a video, that is going to confirm this in a huge way. You will see physically in your own illustration how the unwillingness to love pain, not love pain, but to accept pain, unwillingness to accept pain, led to self-destruction. Look at self-destruction when people refuse to accept pain as part of life, when they don't want to discipline themselves, when they don't want to go through pain. They just want to enjoy all the time. When you want to live for pleasure all the time, pleasure, 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 only pleasure, good, happy all the time, you self-destroy. But when you embrace pain, you save your life. That's why we fast. That is why we walk out. That's why we wake up in the morning to walk out, to go to work. That's why we don't eat sweet all the time. That's why we eat salad. Even though it's not sweet. That's why we go through things that are not pleasant. That is why we need onions. That's why we need garlic. It smells, but that's why we need lemon. That's why we need bitter lemon. That's why we need grapefruit. That's why we need things that are not sweet in life, because they bring a dimension of health for you that other things that are sweet don't bring to you. Let's have a look, please. I told you it's a clear evidence. When we don't like pain, when we don't want to restrict ourselves, when we don't like discipline, anybody that wants to live a life of only pleasure, only good, only joy, only happiness, only perfection, only everything, they self-destroy. It's not possible. It is against the principle of life. In life, you have both pain and joy. In life, you have both white and black. In life, you must exercise some restraint. In life, you must exercise discipline. You must be able to reject something. You must be able to, be able to say no to something. You must be able to correct yourself, be able to refrain yourself, be able to discipline yourself, be able to punish yourself. That's why we fast. But when you don't want to do that, you self-destroy. Let's see another one here. You see the way what self-destruction does and self-deception? She's telling herself stories that she's okay. She doesn't eat. She's okay. She doesn't eat. She's self-deception. She's justifying herself. That is what happens to people who don't like discipline. They give excuses for themselves. They want something that is good. And they think they are right. They are always right. Nobody can tell them that they are wrong. They are always right. So even though she's already like this, she said she doesn't eat. Even though she's already like this, she said it's okay. She has flat stomach. And she's looking like this, so she said, I have flat stomach. I have flat stomach. Everything is okay. Only the other one is just that it went to the side. So what is going to the side? Is it coming from here? From oxygen? Let's continue.
My waist.
The truth. The daughter came to tell the truth because we're eating every time. Hiding food in the closet, everything. It doesn't come from oxygen, though. It comes from eating because people don't want to discipline yourself. What am I saying? See, if you can't accept pain and trial as part of life, you will eventually self-destroy. Now, but victory is the ability to maintain stability, peace, love within, no matter how painful, what tragedy you are going through. On the contrary, when the flesh is broken, see? When the flesh is broken, the stronger the spirit man becomes. Romans 12:20 says, therefore, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. That is where Pastor Oyedepo was reading, but he never got to this one. If your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him a drink. For in so doing, you see, it's good work. Good work, kindness, blessing. For in so doing, you will heap coals of fire on his head. But your own motivation is not coal of fire, is love. Hence, we fast, pray, etc. Why do we fast? To break the body, so that we'll be stronger in other things. Why do we pray? To discipline ourselves, to reduce ourselves, so that the dominion of the body will not come over us. To lower the power of the flesh over us, so our spirit could be on top. We are made to worship not ourselves but God. 1 Corinthians 16:14 says, Let all that you do be done with love. We are supposed to love no matter what, not live in worship of instinct, which is anger, hatred. We don't live in worship of instinct. We live. Let's talk about the Muslim woman. I'm going to show you another film now, another movie that tells us that when we live in love, we win. Only love brings liberty, freedom, and victory. Let's have a look at this film here. It's a documentary film. You will see that nothing surpasses, nothing trumps love. Love will win all the time. Real victory in every situation only comes through love. So, love will always love, no matter what. When we love, no matter what, we move closer to God. We come to the knowledge of God. We discover God, we come to know God, and we come to understand God. Nothing trumps love. Love wins at all times. Let's have a look at this one.
They left him lying in the street in the gutter.
What's the address of your emergency?
In Thomasville, somebody looked like they'd been shot in the head. Ran on the ground. People around for they heard gunshots. I don't hate you. I can't hate you. It's not our way. Showing rahmah, mercy, that is our way. And you were a baby, and you are still a child. His death was already ordained. Maybe the purpose is to save your life, because you're not going to be killed by this society. My family would like very much to be a part of your seeing a better way of life so that this does not repeat itself. Because I will always be a part of your life. Any life that you take is not just one life. It is all that is connected to that life. And what we want for them is not revenge. Revenge solves nothing. It will not bring back my son. You can only see how to help them when you have forgiven truly from your heart.
You see, this is the kind of love that is needed in my country now. Let's see that message again. Love loves at all times. Can you believe it if Christians will begin to love like that Muslim woman? Can you believe it if Muslims in Nigeria begin to love like that? We'll have the greatest country on earth. Country of harmony, forgiveness, love. This is a son that was killed. And she's hugging the person who killed his son. Why Christians in my country are saying, why? Okay, let them kill your own something. We'll see how you will react. Our Christians don't even know this message of love. But that's the only way life works. And that's the only way to know God and to love Him.